Good morning and welcome to Mission Control Houston. We're inside the International Space Station Flight Control Room for today's ISS Update on Wednesday, August 31st. The team here is watching over systems aboard the space station and following along with the activities of the Expedition 28 crew members who are working through the early afternoon of their day on board the station. The crew members are focusing on experiment work and maintenance activities on board the station today. NASA astronaut Mike Fossum and Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency astronaut Satoshi Furukawa have been continuing their work with one of the science experiments on board the station. They began that work on Tuesday and spent much of the day that day and today working on it. It is called the MARES experiment, which stands for the Muscle Atrophy Research and Exercise System, which is a study of human physiology to better understand the effects of microgravity on the muscular system. It's provided by the European Space Agency. The work that the astronauts have been doing on it is not actually running an experiment with it, but getting the hardware ready for experiment work, because when it was first installed, it didn't work properly. There were bolts that were damaged on the frame of the experiment hardware, and so all of those bolts were replaced yesterday by the two crew members. And then today's work has involved the electronics boxes inside, because at initial setup, the experiment did not power up correctly. So with a little work in disassembling the electronics and inspecting the connectors and reinstalling the electronics boxes to ensure proper alignment, the ground control team at the Payload Operations Integration Center powered up the experiment and reported that all is working well. So Fossum and Furukawa are going through to secure all the cabling and close out their work with the MARES, so that the team on the ground can work on scheduling an upcoming activity for research with that hardware. Some other types of experiments on board the station today include observations of the Earth at a platform on the station, flying at an altitude of about 240 statute miles, a good vantage point to look back at the Earth and the changes that can be observed. The sites that the station will fly over today are the Kwanzaa Basin in Africa, the Volga-Ural Delta of water, Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and a ridge in Colorado near the Rocky Mountains. The crew members also will take time on Thursday morning to speak with reporters as part of the South Dakota Public Broadcasting System. So tune into that on NASA television at 9:40 a.m. Central Time Thursday morning. Overnight, the ground control team finished up some work with the Dexter robot on the outside of the space station, closing the container lid that had housed the new circuit breaker box that was replaced on the outside of the station by Dexter. That all commanded remotely by the flight control team here in Mission Control. And they'll finish some work with the robotics on the outside by stowing or placing that container on an external stowage platform called ELC-4, or Express Logistics Carrier 4, for future use. They'll do that later in this week.